This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Stuff went numb that shouldn't go numb, you know what I'm saying? I was like, what is going on?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
And co-host Marnie Winfield.
It was kind of an awkward thing. He's like, would you guys want to come along? Can you get away to come to the island? I'm like, yeah, we just got back from there.
It is Sunday, April 28th, 2024. My name is Corey Winfield.
My name is Marnie Winfield.
And this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. I can't believe it's almost May.
I know.
It's insane.
It is.
Speaking of May, it's probably going to be a good month for us.
It's going to be a life-changing month.
Yes. Yes, and we'll get into more details about May in just a little bit. But first of all, we're going to be able to claim another person on our taxes. So it'll really help us out financially, I think. A lot of people say, oh, no, kids are expensive. Yeah. Depends on what you're buying them. Right?
I love that that's where you go with it.
I mean, the baby shower, that wasn't a baby shower. That wasn't cheap at all.
No.
Which still blows my mind. Like, I mean, I guess it's nice to have family around. And ours was a little different. We talked about that in the last episode that we did. But yeah, since then, I don't think we've talked about going to the Tigers game.
No.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a ton of fun.
Everybody was sick and sounded sick. And this is like we've now started actually for the first time feeling a little better. Mm-hmm. So now we're able to do podcasting again.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling well for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was horrible.
So I'm just now kind of over it.
Yeah, it was something, man. It was crazy. And this is why I think it was a different like form of COVID.
Maybe.
Because everybody was getting it. Like the radio station people I listened to in Dallas were getting it. Mm-hmm. Tyrone got it, wherever he is in the world. Mm-hmm. And it just seemed like it was happening to everybody. And it's like, oh, this was like COVID. Yeah. But we did COVID testing and it didn't show up. But if I was going to make a new COVID, I would make sure that the old COVID test wouldn't catch it. Just me being the evil genius that I am. I would do stuff like that. But yeah, so we're feeling better now. We can actually talk. We sound like people can listen without going, oh, they just sound sick, man. I got to turn this off. Mm-hmm. But the Tigers game was really cool. We had a lot of fun down there. Thanks again to the Detroit Tigers for hooking us up with tickets. We helped the recovery community in Traverse City have a little fun in recovery, doing some normal stuff. And to my knowledge, nobody went out to smoke weed or drink beer. So it was good.
Yeah.
It's a win-win, even though the Tigers didn't win. It was still a good time. And Kim, who's our employee, she was on a mission to get a ball because our son Parker's in your belly. Mm-hmm. But technically, was his first game.
I mean, he was present, right?
Yeah, he was there.
He was there.
So Kim was like, I'm going to get him a ball. So she was on a mission. And then at the end, she finally got a ball for him.
Yeah.
And gave it to us the following Monday or whatever at work. So that was pretty cool. A game ball for Parker, and that fact that she would do that for him, or for us. That's pretty cool. And that's what happens in recovery. You start thinking about other people.
Yeah, it was super meaningful and very touching.
Yeah, and it was probably very touching for her too.
Yeah.
Like I said, to do something for somebody else it's what it's about.
She was on a mission though, for sure.
She made the Jumbotron. We made the Jumbotron a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, her like holding the ball up made the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was good. So again, thanks to the Detroit Tigers, and we appreciate that. The UFAM rally's coming up on the 16th. Mm-hmm. And that's
Lansing.
Lansing, Michigan, UFAM. You're like, what the hell is that? It's Unite to Face Addiction Michigan. And every year they put on this rally, and we have it but they have it at the Capitol building in Lansing to kind of show like, hey, these are people in recovery, and these could be people that don't or do vote for you. Mm-hmm. So when you're up there writing them policies, think of us because we're in recovery and we're here.
Yeah.
So it kind of shows them, wow, a lot of people showed up for that. Like maybe we should pay attention to this.
Right.
And it's just on a Thursday, so it's just like, how many people can really get away for that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Not everybody in recovery, clearly, but
Right.
if you can, you should.
I don't know if we've ever got an idea of numbers. I don't know how they actually even get that information. But for the most part, I mean, that the whole Capitol, like front of the building is full.
Yeah.
I mean, not, shoulder to shoulder, but it's busy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
And I think there'll be more this year.
I think so too.
But it's fun. I'll be emceeing it, which is a huge honor.
It's amazing.
Yeah. We did a little practice video the other day, which I was going to work on it today, but then I have to learn a whole new program because we're at the home office today. And
you're one of your funny, goofy videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I overheard bits and pieces.
it would probably be best just made it to a blooper reel.
Probably.
Because, yeah. Too many parts for Justin. Too many lines that he had to improv.
It's cute, and I'm glad that you guys have fun doing stuff like that.
We did, and it was, and it should reflect that in whatever video we put together. But I can probably do it from work, because like if I do it from here, it's like okay, which I'm gonna have to study this program anyway, because the other program I have is only Windows based. Because I'm like, it doesn't work on this computer I got. I'm like, because it's only Windows based, and I was like, what? It's stupid. So I can either learn it, which I will have to eventually, but it seems like it'd be easier for me to put it together on a program I know. But watch for that soon. The speakers, I think I reached out to Christian from Lifeboat Recovery in Lansing and asked him if I could interview the speakers that are going to be speaking. And he said, I'll get back to you, but he hasn't.
You mean prior to? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I know, and then my friend Rob, who was in room 217 with me and on the very first 10 episodes of the podcast, he was my co-host. He said he knows Issa Mora, or went to school with her or something, he said. But he said he knows her and she's a very cool person. Mm-hmm. So she's going to be speaking. I guess she's from Alpena, or lives over there in Alpena, somewhere on the way other across the side of the state from us. And where we are in Traverse City, Michigan. But it'd be interesting to get her on. I think I'm friends with her on Facebook, too. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Speaking of Facebook, aren't you glad that you didn't burn too many bridges on that?
I really had no presence on Facebook for the most part. Mm-mm. I was not consistent. I am more consistent with Facebook today than I ever was. And I know Facebook's even the uncool social media now, apparently. I've heard from the younger generations is that it's the old people social media.
Good.
But I never was. I mean, I would post sporadically, and even then, very outdated. And I never got on there to check anything. I never used Messenger or anything like that.
They're just pictures. This is love.
That I had a handful of pictures on there. It's
yeah, so ugly, dude. But it's okay. Though I don't think I've ever I've went after businesses before. There's one called OG&E, which is Oklahoma Gas and Electric Company. Not a fan of them, and I would say things to them that wasn't very nice. But I don't really go F you and stuff like that.
Yeah, I never did any of that.
No,
I don't even post really today.
This dude Norm, and I'm saying his name because he tagged me in one of his posts, and he was like, F you. And then F you, Corey Winfield. But then none of it made any sense. So I really don't understand why he was saying F you to me. Because it was
I purposefully did not. I mean, I don't know. I chose not to investigate that just because.
Oh, there's no investigating needed. But it just post didn't make sense. But I'm just saying, be careful what you do on Facebook. And I know when you get drunk, when you get all high, and not you, I'm just saying people in general, it's hard to remember what you do, and it's really hard to control yourself. And just be careful, though. These are one of them lessons. If that's someone, if you're one of those people and you're in and out of early recovery, maybe it's best to stay off Facebook.
Yeah.
Because you'll burn some bridges down the road. Oh, but I was drunk and I was messed up. It doesn't matter. You're not my friend anymore. I deleted you. I didn't block him, but there's other people I've just had to straight up block because they'll say stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, I didn't do nothing to you. I don't even know who you are. Like the one guy that was like, Corey Winfield slept with 15,000 women. Mm-hmm. What? Like, that's insane. Like, I don't know. Like, when people do stuff like that, which maybe I did. I know there was one I did that was pretty stupid. But for just going after somebody, just be careful.
Well, we talked a little bit about this the other day, and I mean, it's the addict behavior, and people are not in their right space of mind, and they're not in a healthy space in their life. And I think a lot of it stems from the shame and guilt that they feel about where they're at, right? So it's not feeling good about your actions, and whether it's subconsciously or consciously, is you want to lash out and be angry. And at that juncture, it makes sense to yell at other people. And that's why a lot of it doesn't even make any sense usually, is because it's not really directed in any kind of sensible fashion. It's more just like, I'm angry and I'm just going to say F you to whoever it is that is on the list on the screen in front of me, because I'm mad at myself. And, so not that makes it okay. But at least to me, that's kind of like where I try to make sense of it all. And, those people are just sick and they need to get better.
I love social media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is what it is, but just be careful if you're out there and you're like, oh, I thought about posting this. Maybe just stay off your Facebook, stay off your Twitter. If you're an old person like me, stay off those things. Mm-hmm. Now, TikTok, they got to sell their company, which this whole thing is just.
I saw a little bit about that.
Yeah, the U.S. government's like, you got to sell your company, otherwise you can't operate in the U.S. because you're in China and you're owned by China and you're spying on people. I'm like, oh, like you do, U.S. government? Okay. Like, this doesn't make sense to me. But TikTok for me is very confusing. I don't really know what I'm supposed to take videos of. Like, I've posted some of our like funny videos on there, but I really don't know. Like, I don't have time to just like, hey, let me wear this hat and then like snap my fingers and I'm in a different hat or shirt. That's so cool. Okay. I don't have a booty like that. Like that's all I see is, hold on. I see a lot of funny baby stuff. That's cute. But other than that, it's just like booties and dancing, and there are some funny cat videos too. But the baby and the cat, I do like those, mm-hmm. but you can get those on YouTube. You can get those other places, Mm-hmm. And you can waste a lot of time on that.
I'm sure you can vouch for that.
A lot of time. But I just don't understand what I'm supposed to make. Mm-hmm. So I'm not a content creator when it comes to that kind of thing. So
that's probably a good thing. Mm-hmm. It's one less thing that would take up your time.
Could you imagine me run around the office? Hold on, guys. Yeah, we got to help these people and get this grant written. But hold on, I'm doing this talk video real quick.
Yeah, I have no interest. And actually, I mean, social media in general is problematic for especially the like teenage generation, and right now is the importance that they place on that, mm-hmm. on social media in general, and the time that they spend on it is taken away from doing other healthy activities. Literally, people can be, and adults too, but people can literally sit there and be like scrolling through stuff for hours and hours that's not productive in their life. They're not exercising. They're not interacting with other human beings and developing or, working on relationships. It's just,
but it can be used
time
in your favor if done correctly. Say, example, you're applying for a job. I know for a fact employers will look at your social media. Now, if you have a TikTok on there with babies and cats, they'd be like, okay. Or you have some wild ass stuff, they're going to be like, okay, this dude's going to, or this woman, this person, whoever, is going to waste a lot of time on TikTok, it looks like. So probably you got to take that into consideration. You go to their Facebook and they're like, F this, F that, F Corey Winfield. I mean, I wouldn't hire you. Somebody else who's like F Corey Winfield might. But if you have like just pictures of your kids and, hey, this is, a picture from Christmas. If it's a responsible adult one, mm-hmm. and I'm not knocking younger generation or younger people because they have some good adult ones, but just keep in mind that as you want to throw out there F this and F that and hi Gretchen Whitmer, have something to back that up with, because I did leave her a little something today.
Well, my thoughts are is that your Facebook is a representation of you. Mm-hmm. And so if you're putting stuff on there, just be careful, because that's how people will, it's looking at what you value, right? So it's showing how you handle things. It's showing what you value. It's showing what you spend your time on. You know, it's showing your interests. It's showing your things you aren't interested in, maybe. It's showing what you spend your time doing, maybe, because it will talk about, you know, people will post like recipes or whatever. And it can show who you interact with. So all of those things put together is just be mindful of that.
Yeah. Just be mindful of it. If you can't repeat it on a podcast, then you shouldn't do it. So this is why I posted the big Gretch today, because she posted a picture of herself at the NFL draft, which is in Detroit. And she's up there, whatever, Big Gretch is what she calls herself. And she was like, Big Gretch reporting for duty. And she was announcing the fourth round draft pick, not the first, second, third, but their fourth round draft pick. There's 7 rounds. But you're important, Big Gretch. But anyway, so I just wrote on there, I said, please take sports betting seriously and please get in front of the destruction that's happening in people's lives. Come on, Gretch. Govern responsibly. Get it? Mm-hmm. It's like gamble responsibly and drink responsibly.
Yeah.
Govern responsibly. Just govern enough so that you're okay with governing. Because that's what they say about gambling. Just gamble enough that you can lose. Just gamble enough that you're comfortable with losing. Just gamble responsibly. That's like part of their messaging. And then I said, or call a number that can't help you if you start having trouble with governing. You don't seem impressed. But there's one person that liked it.
Oh, I get it. You had to be reflective of the gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sports betting.
Yeah. Because I want to get more not into sports betting, but I wanted to get more into helping those people, man, because that's something that's an addiction, and that's a real thing, and it kills people. Mm-hmm. You know, it drives people to take their own lives. But
the game of football is so much bigger than sports betting. So, but I see what you're saying.
Depends how you look at that. Because money-wise, sports betting, there's more money that goes into that than football. You look like you're surprised by this.
No, I'm just saying is I can see how she's probably not going to turn down an opportunity to represent.
Oh, no. No, I'm telling her, like, yeah, people will like football, and there's like 700,000 people that attended the draft as just spectators. It's huge. Football's huge, but
right,
please keep in mind that sports betting is huge too. I mean, she knows. She's one who signed the thing to let people do sports betting here in Michigan. You know, she's the one that set the rate that, like Yahoo, which refused to pay, but like FanDuel and all these other ones, they had to pay a fee, and she was the one that set that up. You know, so she can take her little $4 million from these companies, but she's got to do what she needs to do to give back to the people that fall into these traps, because it's very easy to do. Mm-hmm. And to my knowledge, there's zero being done to help these people. Right. They flash 800 number and that's it. And I'm telling you, I have called that 800 number and said, I need help. I was just
seeing where it would go.
Yeah, because I was applying for a grant, because I thought, well, they keep putting out there like must include the 800 number, like that was some magical thing. And so I was like, what does this 800 number do? So I called it, and that's when I was met with sheer terror of, wow, there's no help for people. Imagine if somebody, you know, drank or heroin or whatever you want to call it, whatever, if they're calling a number, hey, this is going to help me and get help for my substance use disorder. And they were like, okay, well, I know you want to talk to somebody right now, but I'm going to go ahead and take your info, and within a week or so, someone's going to try to call you back. Mm-hmm. But we only have 2 people in your area, so just hang in there.
Yeah. Gamblers Anonymous, I think that they had, and that means there's different kinds of just like there's different kinds of substance use disorder, but like there's people who are addicted to casinos. There's people that are addicted to the tables at casinos. There's people that are addicted to lottery tickets, scratch off lottery tickets. There's people that are addicted to the regular lotto, the numbers game, right? Yep. And then there's people that are addicted to sports betting, and it's gambling in general. And I think when we tried to look into it, the closest meeting that was actually currently active, like met once a week, and it was over an hour away from where we live in Traverse City.
There was a family member that I've told this story before. I was trying to learn more about it. You know, this was probably 7 years ago. And I saw they had a meeting, and it was an hour and a half away. And I get there, and it was just me and this one other guy. And then one other dude did show up. But he's like, yeah, usually it's just us two. And he's like, sometimes it's just me. And then I ended up just going home. He's like, I shut it down. And I was like, wow, I'm glad I didn't drive all the way here for that. You know, if I drove all the way there and they weren't even having one, you know, it's like, my gosh. But yeah, it's a problem. And that was my point to her. And hopefully she reads that and does something about it, because just, you know, playing commercials saying, got a gambling problem? Call this number. It's not enough. You know, throwing up a billboard, it's not enough. You and I had a billboard discussion yesterday about what a waste of money it is. I mean, billboards can be effective, but other times it's just a waste of money. And people, I think, are stuck in the whole, well, that's what we've done before. That's what we did the last 10 years is we put this billboard up and it told people not to drink and drive. Well, if you look at all that money that was spent, I can guarantee you I will have 8 ideas that are better and would be more effective than throwing a billboard up. And it's just getting people out of that way of thinking, like, that's just how we've done things. This is what we do. This is what we've always done. Stop that. Unless you're winning, unless you're killing it. Like, man, we're really, like, nobody's addicted anymore. Like, until you're at that point, stop.
Sadly, that's never going to happen.
No, it's not. But the more help we can give people and the easier we can get people connected, so they don't have to lose their life. They don't have to lose their house. They don't have to lose their marriage. You know, and it's going to be on them ultimately, just like it was on you and I, you know, to flip the script on life and take ownership of what we wanted and how we're living and what we wanted to be and what we want to become. It's hard, and there's no hope there sometimes. But figuring out where you can get that hope, it's different for everybody, but it's out there and it can happen. And just don't make them feel like there is nothing to help them.
Right.
You know, that's the big thing there. And my opinion as a professional radio broadcaster, that's what I have.
Well, I remember the one that was like basically talking about DUIs cost you like $10,000. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
It's talking about, and I'm like, okay, so let's threaten people who have issues with drinking, right? I mean, that is not, it's not empowering. It's not supportive. It's not making them feel like they have, you know, an opportunity to change. So there's all these pieces that go into actually, you know, getting people in a place where they can be like, yeah, you're right, I have a problem, and I feel like now is a time when I can deal with it. Threatening them with the amount it's going to cost them when they do get caught.
You're only threatening poor people. Like, rich people are like,
really
who
not.
gives a shit, really? $10,000?
Lots of money went into that billboard.
Yeah, and the money that they spent on that, and like,
it's not encouraging people.
I just want to be in the room.
It's not being like,
they're kicking ideas around. I just want to be in that room to just say, that's stupid. Let's talk about why it's stupid. And then I'll put a billboard.
I'm sure there's a lot of people with a lot of great ideas that would be support, that are very simple and could be words of wisdom or words of encouragement and support that at a juncture, somebody would read it who's struggling at that time, and that can sink in and be like, and be meaningful. Maybe not at that moment. They might not be like, I'm going to go get some help now. Right. But you know what I mean? Hearing that message again and having it mean something to them.
Even if they pretended they were going to put up a billboard, and hear me out. Like if they went to junior high and said, we want everybody, this is a requirement for everybody to design a billboard about drinking and driving or something. I don't know. But if you got them thinking about it to where like high school kids had to do this.
See what think tank, what they came up with, that'd be friggin' genius.
Then if you used them, cool. If not, but at least you're getting the messaging to the kids, and you can put facts on there like this is how many people die, and here's a number where you can call to get help. Like really give them the tools and let them think they're designing this great grand wizard billboard, which, hey, maybe they will.
Yeah.
But if not, at least you're giving them information.
You could submit it to NBHHS.
Yeah.
Like, here's some ideas.
Use this. But if we made that something like all schools had to do, I think that'd be a great idea because you're getting that information to the kids while they're young. They're reading this. They're like, oh, wow, this is how many people got killed in drunk driving accidents. Oh, wow. Okay. Probably shouldn't drink and drive. That's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. It's not just about people that themselves either. It's you can take other people's lives. Mm-hmm. I think that's that's the one thing that can, I think, might sink in a little. I don't know. Who knows?
That's what woke me up.
Yeah, we need to that's the kind of messaging. That's the kind of conversations that need to be had, though. It's like, this is not just about you. Like, obviously, you need to be concerned about your own substance use disorder. But, people, when you get behind the wheel, it's like having a gun in your hand.
And here's the number you can call. And here's whatever. And here's the process. So that way they know it. And yeah, they think it's just a fun billboard design, but really they're learning information for themselves. Mm-hmm. And just a minute ago, I said that's what woke me up. And I didn't take anybody's life, thank God. But just the fact that I drove blacked out, that I wasn't thinking about a billboard. I don't remember driving, and that's scary. And that's what really, the scared shit out of me. Like, I could have taken someone's life, and there are people right now in prison that don't remember it.
Yeah.
And you think they wanted to take someone's life? Absolutely not.
Right.
And yeah, I'm lucky. I'm fortunate. And I know this, and I'm blessed every day, but it wasn't like I was like, oh, I only had 10 beers. I can run down to Bob's real quick. No, I don't remember it at all. And there was no reason for me to go anywhere like that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And so again, those billboards, don't drink and drive or whatever. Yeah. Okay. That's cute and all, but I think people already know that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I still see some buckle up, it's the law signs. And that's funny because clearly if someone's not wearing their seatbelt, they don't give a shit about getting a ticket. Mm-hmm. They just don't care, and for us, it's kind of second nature because we're part of the generation that you had to wear a seatbelt all the time.
Yeah.
So it's just second nature now for us. Mm-hmm. But the generation before us, they were the ones that were real pissed about it.
You won't
tell me I got to wear a seatbelt. Like I tell people in the back seat, put one on. They're like, why?
Yeah.
I'm not going to fly out. I'm like, I don't care what you do, but one thing you're not going to do is fly up here and hit me. Because that shit happens.
I remember that was like one of the first things that I remember about you is like you wouldn't like even move the car until I had my seatbelt buckled. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm doing it. I got purses. I got winter jackets on. Like this takes a second, right? And you're just like waiting. Like, I'm like, he literally is waiting for me to buckle my seatbelt before he puts this vehicle and drive. Like, that's cute.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Like, we're not going anywhere until you're buckled up.
You're not flying over here knocking my teeth out. It's just not going to happen. But when I was taking people a lot to treatment, people would be like, oh, you wear my seatbelt? I'm like, yeah. Like, do you understand what happens in a wreck? Well, I might fly out of the car. No, dipshit, if you're lucky. But no, you're going to fly way up here. Because that's what happened to me when I was in my car accident when I was 14 or whatever. I went flying all the way to the front. Wham. Mm-hmm. Hit the dash. That sucked. But yeah. So anyway, the billboards and the seatbelt, yeah, that kind of cracked me up because it's like, I think people are pretty good on that now. Like, how much did you spend on that? Like, do you really have that much money that you just don't know what to do with?
Yeah, right.
You're just like, I'll just slap that on a billboard because that's what we've always done.
They're expensive.
Mm-hmm.
They're expensive.
Yeah. I watched a show the other night on Hulu. And it was a magical show. It was called Thank You, Good Night. It was the Bon Jovi documentary.
Oh.
It was like I guess maybe it's a docu-series. I'm not sure how that goes, but it's 4 episodes. They're pretty long episodes, but it just goes through Bon Jovi's career and the whole band. And it was sad. Well, I mean, it was interesting. It was fun. It was cool. I've kind of liked Bon Jovi. as I got older, they kind of got older too. And so they wrote more love songs, more chill songs, and as they would put it, which is true, more meaningful songs. But it was a good little documentary. But Jon Bon Jovi, I remember hearing about 6 months ago that he can't sing anymore. And I heard audio of it, and it's just like, oh, geez, what happened? Well, they go through it, and his voice box is kind of messed up where it doesn't shut all the way. I don't know. Something's messed up with his voice. And so he like had this surgery, but it goes through that in the documentary or whatever. But it's just sad because he wants to sing, and that's what he's done his whole life. And he kind of starts talking about Tiger Woods and Tiger Woods' car accident, how he had to get his like leg or something, his ankles. He had something fused. Mm-hmm. And when you have something fused, it means it doesn't move anymore, pretty much. Like you're welding it together.
Right.
So Tiger Woods is still trying to learn how to play golf again, you know, and I think Jon Bon Jovi should just learn how to sing a little differently. He doesn't have to hit the notes that he was hitting when he was 20. You know, he should just try to do a different version of his voice, because he can sing some parts, but then when he would try to hit the high, it was like me trying to sing some songs. So it made me feel bad for him. And then just how old he looks now.
Yeah, that's what happens, honey. People
There's
get
a
old.
big difference between 50 and 60. I'm going to tell you that right now. Huge difference. Because if you looked at him when he was 50, he looked young. They had an album out. Everything was cool. And this was 2 years ago, this documentary. And he just turned 62 now. But he was 60 when they made this. And it's just like, whoa. Like just 10 years ago when he put the other album, he didn't look that old. And now he's got gray hair, and like he kind of had some gray hair before.
Yeah.
But now it just looks like old person gray hair.
Well, he's old.
That's why you shave your heads, kids.
No, I caught little bits and pieces of that, but yeah, I'm sure you were very interested in that.
Yeah, well, being a radio guy, you know,
Sure.
playing thousands and millions. I wonder how many times I did play a Bon Jovi song.
Lots.
Probably 5. No, probably 10,000. No, probably more than that. Because you get a 5-6 hour shift going. You're going to have at least 2 Bon Jovi songs in there at some point, I would assume. Yeah, that's a lot. I played a lot of Bon Jovi songs. And I didn't mind them, you know. I think when I was in 9th grade, 8th grade, I know the New Jersey album came out or whatever, and I know my stepdad got it, and I stole it. I didn't steal it. I just took it. But I listened to that. Is it like how I just justified that?
Did you borrow it? Did you ask permission?
I don't remember. I probably did.
That's fine.
There was, yeah. Yeah, but I love that tape. I like that tape. I liked it a lot. And I just hope Bon Jovi can make it. And, you know, just the drug addiction in his band, after they got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, their one guy died who was real bad that they had to kick him out. And then Richie Sambora, I don't know, he still looks like he's out there. But the drummer and the other guy ended up, I think, going into rehab.
So he's always been on the straight and narrow?
Yeah, he just said that he was a singer, you know, like smoking stuff. And he said he had a real bad experience with drugs. He didn't really say too much about it, but just that when he was young, before he even started the band, really, he had a really bad experience with it. So he didn't really mess with it. I think he might drink from time to time, but he doesn't want to do anything. And this is what's kind of sad. And I wouldn't say ironic, but the fact that he can't sing now, and like he always wanted to protect his voice, you know,
Sure.
like he didn't want to drink too much, or, you know, he wouldn't go crazy on stuff because he had to save his voice.
Right.
Then now he's 62 and he can't sing.
Wow.
You know, and he even had surgery to fix it. And as far as the documentary, when they stopped that, it wasn't any better. So I don't know but it's just sad. It made me feel old too, because I'm like, man, I remember that. And he was a good looking young man. Jon Bon Jovi was. And to see him now, it's just like, oh man. I posted something on Facebook today, and I was like, it's so weird to be the same age as all these old people.
I saw that.
Because it's freaking me out now, because I got 14 years left because I'll be 46 soon. 14 years and I'll be 60. And I'm thinking, like, what's Parker going to think? Like, that's why I'm going to hit the grandpa age when he's like getting ready for high school sports or whatever he's doing.
Yeah, it's all
I'll be
right.
like, oh, your grandpa's here. Oh, that's my dad. Oh. What if we just tell Parker we're like 20 years younger than we are?
No, we're not having the foundation of the relationship with our child be based on lies.
How old are you, Dad? Shut up. Don't you ever
We
ask
don't
me that
talk
again.
about that in this house. No,
You like standing in that corner? Ask me one more time.
no, we're like superheroes. We can have children at older ages. This is great.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's going to be the youngest podcaster ever. I'm not sure what age is the youngest, but I think he's going to be pretty young when he gets his first episode out. It'll just be gaga goo goo stuff, but it'll be in the record books.
Yeah,
What
won't
if you
be
come
too
home
long.
and you just see me like trying to teach him how to read every day? Would you think like, honey, like stop?
What teaching? Wait, what'd you say?
Like if you came home and he's like, I don't know, 5 months old, and I'm like trying to teach him how to read. Would that be too much? Would
Well,
like,
you
stop it?
kind of do that, right? That's why we read to him all the time. We're going to read to him all the time. It's really important.
He's sitting him down going, ah.
No, we're not. You're not going to. He can't even. Yeah, right. He's got syllables, and you're.
Like, what'd you guys do all day? I'll be looking. I'm like, Parker. He'll be like, Daddy. That's what we did. got him to say Daddy today. Tomorrow we're working on pizza.
Yeah, it's coming up here. I'll be his arrival.
I swear he told me May 8th, but I know his due date's the 26th of May.
Yes.
So we'll see. And the new fam's the 16th. We'll see. You know, they do have a backup in case they can't make it. And then we're supposed to see a comedian in Grand Rapids on the 11th of May. Just so much coming in May.
We'll just see how it rolls out.
Yeah, and as far as 217 goes, we have a cooking demonstration, sort of, right? What'd you call it, a demonstration or class?
It's a class, so it's a pretty simplified cooking class. It's more like meal preparation,
Okay.
and so it's encouraging. Like it talks about a little bit about like nutrition content and what have you, but they are going to have the ingredients to put together. I think 3 different dishes, and they're going to do that all there with the attendees, and then everybody gets to eat and talk about their experience. And yeah, it's held at the local grocery store, Oriana, which is very focused on like organic and nutrition. It's like how do you describe that?
Natural foods.
Natural food store. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I was going to say I was going somewhere with California, but that wasn't coming around here. But yeah,
Maybe not Whole Foods, but maybe.
yeah, kind of like Whole Foods.
So if you're interested in going to that, we're actually giving away tickets or seats or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
217recovery.com. You can sign up for that if you're in Traverse City. Do that.
and it's on May 13th.
Yep. And we're going to have one of our people go. I'm not sure who, but somebody will be there from 217. And I already mentioned the UFAM rally on the 16th. And I need to put info on our website about that. And then June, there's a free fishing. It's like the 8th and 9th. What I mean, free fishing is you don't have to have a license in Michigan to go fishing that weekend. And we teamed up with, we reached out to Jay Sporting Goods.
Yes.
And they're in Gaylord, and they have another location too. But we reached out to Gaylord location, and we're like, "Hey, we're a nonprofit." I think I don't think you said it like that, but
Yeah, I wrote a whole letter.
and they agreed. Yeah, we'll hook you up some fishing poles. So we're gonna get together some kind of fishing event that weekend because it's free. And thanks to Jay Sporting Goods for hooking us up with the poles that we can give people. And then you hit late June. By late June, I mean the 20th. We're having Recovery Stories Part 3, which we're going to have a food truck this time. So that'll be a little more interesting. And I really should probably get a hold of the speakers that we're going to have speaking.
Yes, maybe we should have that be our focus for this week.
Yeah, because we should lock that down as we go into May. And then July, of course, we have the Cherry Festival that Mitch and the volunteers are going to go out.
And we'll see how we're doing with coordinating us and the child.
Right, you might be losing your mind. Like, I need out of this house.
Be like, I will go volunteer for this shift, please.
Mm-hmm. And then the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight. I want to do something for that. Like just some watching party or something up at the office, I think. Or maybe at a different location. Who knows? But my fear in that is it says it starts at 8 and they're going to have 3 fights before that. Next thing you know, it's 2 a.m. and
yeah, no, we're not doing that.
No, that's my only fear of it. But it should be an interesting event. Mitch was making a flyer for it the other day because I told him to. So thanks, Mitch. And then August, I heard also we have the volleyball tournament too.
This July.
Yeah, it's not ours. It's ATS's, Addiction Treatment Services.
we have a presence there.
Yeah,
usually and help out.
They invite us.
Yeah,
they should. I hope. And yeah, in August, something about a boat or something. Maybe.
Oh, that's tentative. We're seeing how that can roll out.
Yeah,
but seeing if we can possibly get a pontoon boat to go out on the water and do sandwiches and catch some rays, you know?
Yeah, I'll be home with Parker. Teaching him how to say daddy. Yeah. So, I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff coming up was my point. And we're doing what we can to have fun in recovery.
Yeah.
So if you ever need anything, 217recovery.com. You can reach out for a recovery coach. You can watch some cool, funny videos. You can listen to podcasts. It's all right there for you. So
yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on to do a podcast today. We are going to take pictures of your belly.
Yeah. Pictures with you in it.
With me in yes, because we have pictures of your belly, but we just haven't thrown them out there or anything like that. But
because that's the one piece of advice that I gotten from moms is they're like, you are going to kick yourself if you don't capture moments that you need to, down the line. It takes like 3 seconds, take some pictures. And we made it a point to take pictures of me in the pregnancy, and they turned out great. And I'm like, but we kind of need pictures of you in it.
Yeah. So I'm doing that for you. But yeah, your pictures were awesome. And it's easy to take pictures of beautiful people. It really is. It's making the ugly people look good is what.
Stop it. This is going to be great. It's going to be adorable.
This is the hard part.
We have a great idea.
Yeah. So I want to do a drone picture, but whatever.
We can try to do that. I mean, we still got like maybe 4 weeks before he gets here, exactly to the day.
Are we going to do any exotic locations?
Like our backyard?
Yeah. Deer running around out there, all looking sickly.
I know. Those deer, they need something. They need some nutrients.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Well, I appreciate you coming on, though, Marnie.
Absolutely.
It really does help because we did one at the office the other day and it was totally off point that I didn't even publish it. That's how, but it wasn't bad. It was just.
So I have a challenge for you.
Oh, no. For me?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, it's not just for you.
Okay.
But what if you actually had next time that you do a podcast in the office, were like went into it with intention of having it being on spot.
Okay.
Like staying true to talking about topic of recovery, maybe keeping it like PG.
Okay.
Or about there. Staying true to topic.
Okay.
And having it be like 25 minutes. And have it be inspirational, talking about experience, strength, and hope. And see what you come up with.
So you want me to do a whole new, different podcast? Just call it Experience, Strength, and Hope?
No, I want you just saying be intentional about it being being productive and meaningful and having the message be something people can walk away with. Like they just sat down with a peer recovery coach, maybe.
Oh, I don't even know what you're saying to me right now. You're speaking different language. Now, we are going to do the Recovery Dads podcast probably within the next week or two. We're going to start that up. So,
nice.
And that's going to be a totally different podcast. Well, I don't know. It's probably going to be the same thing, just with a different name. Who knows?
Sure.
It will be structured more. At least that's the thought of it all. At least we'll all have topics and stuff that we're going to bring up as being a recovery dad. You know, I'm at a different spot that Mitch is at. Mitch is a different spot than Justin's at. Mm-hmm. So we can kind of take all that in and then, you know, to have maybe a guest or two on or something. But
yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So that's coming soon. And challenge accepted.
Okay.
That's what's up. You know what I'm saying?
Great.
Till next time. Thanks for listening. And 217recovery.com. If you don't have the app yet, you can get it. It's free in your App Store or Google Play Store. And you can listen to every single podcast ever made in 217 Recovery.
Yeah. Hope you had a good weekend, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. For more episodes plus bonus features, download the 217 Recovery app and support recovery by rating us in the App Store.